We are really privileged that you are willing to sit and our advice and counsel as your facilitators. We really thank God that you are willing to be available for us to share the information God has given us with you on how to be a transformational and governance leader. Please note the word transformational. We don't have enough time to cover this. It's not part of our syllabus. But you can be a transactional leader or a transformational leader. A transformational leader is a leader who takes over a department or takes up a business, and the first question is, where is the business now? Second question, where should it be in the future? Third question, what are the barriers that are preventing this business, this department, this organization, this church to be where it potentially could be? The reason why you need to be a transformational leader is that nobody wants to move away from their comfort zone. So when you try to transform a business, a department, an organization, you end up with problems with your people. They were comfortable what they were doing, how they were doing things. They are happy where they are. So when you try to be transformational, to move the business to where it could be, to move the department to where it could be, people will be unhappy with you. Now, how do you become the kind of a leader who can take people to a better position through a very uncomfortable means, and they'll be willingly go through the means because they have understood where you are going? That's really what our discussion will be for these next 2 weekends. And we'll be helping you to see the kind of strategies that would help you to be accepted by people so they are willing to go with you to where they could be. Many organizations, where they are this year is where they will be in 10 years. Nothing changes. So we'll be helping you, God helping us, to create a kind of a transition from just leading, supervising. In Swahili, we say nyapara. You're just supervising people, to becoming the kind of a person who comes to a situation and transforms it for the good, not of the leader, but of the group. That's really what we are talking about. In those those strategies, and there are many, we'll be covering only about four this weekend. The most important of them is you. You can be your own enemy. If people, you are the new manager, you are the new CEO, you are the new head of department, if they don't trust you, and then you are telling them to do something different, to go to a strange place where they have never heard of, they will resist. The whole project will fail. You are the most important ingredient in transforming countries, organizations, and families. So we want these next 2 hours to spend time talking about you, why you should be pursuing personal and public integrity, where you should be the kind of character that helps people to trust you enough so that you can take them to the promised land. And despite the fact that they'll go through many challenges, they'll be willing to do that. I think having explained what transformational leadership is, the next thing we must ask ourselves, and is very, very important, is, are we really proactive in our thinking? Are we the kind of people who actually are going to, in whichever way, try to think, when you arrive in a new department, do you first of all understand it, and then ask yourself, Is this all it can be? Or you're the kind of person who accepts what is there. You don't want trouble. You don't want challenges. What kind of a person are you? And that may be true in your family. You want everything to remain as it is. Like as they say in economics, ceteris paribus, all things held constant. You are not transformational leader if that is the way the person you are. I would like to ask no, I don't think I can see all the names of people. Let me ask any volunteer to read for us the quotation on the screen.
Yes, sorry, please, you may have to put it in slide mode again.
Yeah, it was in a slide mode. The reason it refused to move is because it was on slide mode. Do you want to?
When you click on the screen, it will move. When you just click on the screen.
Okay, we can try, but it will slow me down because I'll have to move back to that when it stops moving.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when it stops, I'll have to go back. Now, who is offering one participant offering to read that for us?
This is Levi from Nigeria. Let me read.
Please, welcome.
Okay, thank you. People of genius are admired. People of wealth are envied. People of power are feared, but only people of character are trusted. From Alfred Adler, Australian psychotherapist.
That, I hope, is a quotation you remember as a leader. If all you're after is to be admired, be a genius, somebody who comes up with wonderful ideas, solving complicated issues. People of genius, we really admire them. Not all of us are in that category. If you want to be envied, and you know, admired is different from envied. Envied means, I wish I were you. Just make money. People of wealth are envied. But if you want to be feared, become the president of Tanzania, become the president of Kenya. You'll certainly be feared. People of power are feared. But if you are admired or envied or feared, that's not the kind of person who is a transformational leader. If I admire you, I may not commit to follow you. If I just envy you, I may even want to steal your money. If I fear you, I wish you could be out of the scene. If you want people to trust you and therefore you can take them through a difficult journey, Alfred Adler says, you have to be a person of character. That really summarizes all I'll be saying in the next 2 hours, less than 2 hours. Please remember, the word character, when we talk about the word character, we really are talking about the Greek, in Greek, to an engraving instrument. In Greek, an engraving instrument. But character is foundation, like I've said in my introduction, to any transformational leadership. The heart of leadership is the heart of the leader. If people are to trust you, character is foundational. To lead transformation, then, the leader should have a character that models the desired change. You don't tell us, do what I say, not what I do. For you to be a transformational leader, because you are taking people to a place they have never been, you have to believe that you yourself are willing to go there. Character, really, when you talk about character, we talk about your consistent behavior that stems from personalized virtues and values. Some people in drama, if they are acting Shakespeare, they'll act a good character. But when they're out of the scene, they'll behave differently. And there are many people like that, who can manipulate by behaving in certain ways. So character is not a one-time behavior. is a consistent behavior. That's what you call character. You know, one of the things we have to discuss is, how do you get to have this character? Character formation is an intentional and ongoing process of heart transformation that positively impacts personal life and leadership effectiveness. In other words, the key thing in becoming the character that people can trust is changing your heart. Not your mind, your heart. The heart is the seat of the will. The heart is what moves your mind and moves your legs and moves everything. That's where the commitment, seat of commitment is. So you have to change your heart to have the kind of character we are talking about. That then has to be intentional. It cannot happen automatically. It will have to be something I'm willing to change. That's something we'll be talking about during these 2 hours. It has to be intentional. Number 2, it is not one sudden change. It has to be an ongoing process. You know, this is what we call adult learning. You are all people who teach. You are teachers yourselves. So I can't keep talking. We want to share with one another. So I would like us to break into groups, and our MC is going to help us to break into groups. And the exercise, please take a picture of this so that you have it even when you go into your group. Think of a person who influenced you, who you are today. Think, who is it? Once you name him, tell me, what value do you hold now that you credit him? I am who I am because my mother, my teacher, my lecturer, there's somebody who had such an influence on you. It has made you who you are. In order to be sure you know what we are talking about, I'm asking you, what in him or her did you so admire that you ended up trusting him and wanting to be like him? I'm giving you only 7 minutes to do that.